Hello, everyone, and welcome to my reading of A Piece of Cake by Cupcake Brown. This is a truly beautiful memoir. I have never encountered a book that resonated with me so much. I found this book when I was a naive little 13-year-old girl, saw a cover with bright neon green sprinkles, multicolored sprinkles, and they say don't judge books by the covers, but I did, and I'm so happy I did because this book is just beyond inspiring. It will show you that no matter what you go through in life, no matter what, if you really truly want to, you can accomplish absolutely anything you want. And that is why this book is everything. It's life. I really hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for letting me read to you. Where there is life, there is hope. Where there is hope, there is trust. Where there is trust, there is love. Where there is love, there is faith. Where there is faith, there is success. Where there is success, there is God. Tim Long, a.k.a. Pops. Chapter 1. The booming music coming from Mama's radio alarm clock suddenly woke me. I could hear Elton John singing about Philadelphia freedom. I wonder why Mama didn't wake me, I thought to myself. It was January 1976. I was in no school that day, but Mama still had to go to work. So, while Mama was at work, I was going over to Daddy's house to play with Kelly, the daughter of his lady friend. I wonder why she didn't wake me, I thought again to myself as I climbed out of bed. When I passed the dresser, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Boy, was I ugly. Skinny, black, and ugly. That's what the kids at school called me. Or they'd yell out, That looks just like my pet. My name was Livette, but my first birth name was Cupcake. At least that's what my mama told me. Seems Mama craved cupcakes when she was pregnant with me. She had 3 cupcakes a day, every day, without fail, for 9.5 months. I was 2 weeks overdue. Mama said that even if she didn't eat anything else, she'd have her daily dose of cupcakes. Anyway, seems that while we were in labor, the hospital gave Mama some pain drugs. Once Mama popped me out, the nurse said, Pat, that was my mama's name. You have a little girl. Do you know what you want to name her? Tired and exhausted from 8 hours of hard labor, Mama lifted her head, smiled sheepishly, and said, Cupcake, before she passed out. So that's what they put down on my birth certificate. I mean, that is what she said. The nurse thought it was due to the excitement of motherhood. Mama said it was the drugs. A few hours later, however, when Daddy came to the hospital, he decided he didn't like Cupcake. Mama said Daddy wanted to name me Livette. So, just to make Daddy happy, Mama said she had the hospital change my name. I didn't mind, really. I loved my daddy. So as far as I was concerned, he could change my name to whatever he wanted. But Mama said that to her, I would always be Cupcake. She never called me anything else except sometimes she called me Cup for short. Anyway, the kids at school always told me that I was ugly. They teased me, saying I looked like Aunt Esther, that old lady from Sanford and Son. That one always calling Sanford a fish-eyed fool. She was the ugliest woman I'd ever seen. So if the other kids thought I looked like her, I knew I had to be ugly. Besides, everybody knew a black girl wasn't considered pretty unless she was light-skinned with long, straight hair. I was dark-skinned with short, kinky hair. I hated my complexion. I hated my hair. I hated my skinny legs and arms. But my mama thought I was beautiful. She'd say, Cub, listen, you're only 11 years old. You will appreciate your beauty as you grow up. Shoot, I couldn't wait to grow up. Mama always said things to make me feel better. I love my mama. She was my best friend, and she was beautiful. She had cocoa-colored skin, and her long black hair hung way past her shoulders. And Mama had the biggest, prettiest smile you ever saw. People always told her that she looked like Diana Ross because of her long hair and wide, beautiful smile, all teeth. I passed the black ugly thing in the mirror and continued towards Mama's room. The radio alarm continued to blast. I giggled to myself. Mama liked me. She hated getting up in the morning, so she put the clock all the way across the room and turned it all the way up so it would scare her awake in the morning. That way she'd have to get out of bed and walk across the room to turn it off. I wonder why she didn't turn the alarm off, I thought as I made my way through the kitchen toward the large living room that led into Mama's room. The floor was cold because there was no carpet in our house. Still, I loved our old house. It was Victorian style, 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. We lived in San Diego in the heart of the ghetto, though I never knew it until I got older. We had our share of dilapidated houses and run-down apartment buildings, but most of the houses and apartments in the neighborhood were in decent order. I mean, we didn't have any mansions, but most folks made sincere efforts to keep their houses decent looking. They watered their tired brown lawns, trying to keep them up, as kept up as a lawn could be with kids running over it all the time, and trying to replace windows that had been broken from runaway fly balls that escaped the imaginary fields of street baseball games. We had a great neighborhood store, Sawaya Brothers, that had everything you could need or want, including that most delicious pickled pig feet. We had a neighborhood park, Memorial Park, a boys and girls club and a girls club. I thought my family was rich because I was the only kid in the neighborhood who had her own bedroom, furnished with a white princess style bedroom set, complete with a canopy bed, matching nightstands, and dresser. There was a pink frilly comforter with matching frills for the canopy overhead, and I had a closet full of clothes. Unlike other kids in my neighborhood, I never had to share clothes or wear hand-me-downs. Mama loved to sew and made most of my clothes. The other kids thought we were rich too. Little did we know that we weren't rich. It's just that both my mom and dad worked while the other kids only had one parent trying to raise several kids, either on one income or more commonly on welfare. Though being on welfare wasn't nothing to be ashamed about. Most everybody was. In fact, I envied my friends on welfare because they got government food that you couldn't get from the store, like this great government cheese. You ain't never had a grilled cheese sandwich till you had one made with government cheese. The blasting radio brought me back to my immediate mission, finding out why my mama didn't wake me. I wish you'd have woke me up, I thought as I followed the sound of the blasting radio. I was excited about going to my daddy's. My mama and daddy didn't live together. Daddy lived around the way with my brother, Larry. I hated Larry. Larry was thin and lanky like me, and he was dark-skinned like me. Although he was 2 years older than me, he never acted like a big brother. In fact, he was usually the one I had to be protected from, and usually it was me jumping in the fight to protect him. I thought he was a wimp. Larry hated me just as much as I hated him, but for different reasons. He was jealous of me. He never admitted it, but I knew he was. I was the one who always got good grades and saved my weekly allowance so I could buy something nice and big, while Larry hated school and always was on the verge of flunking out, and spent his money faster than he got it. And then he had the nerve to get mad when he didn't have anything left. Our hate for each other resulted in fierce fights, cussing each other out, a skill I turned to art form from an early age, and throwing knives and hammers or anything else lethal we could find at each other. Our fights were no joke. We were trying to kill each other, for real, or at least cause loss of body parts. In our house, before Larry went to live with Daddy, I could never slack up and always had to watch my back because we were always trying to sabotage each other. Once I woke to Larry trying to smother me with a pillow. Bastard. He just woke up one day and decided he'd try to kill me. I had to fight, kick, scratch, punch, and scream to get him off me. I got him back, though. I tried to poison him. Larry was always trying to boss me around. One day, after yet another unsuccessful attempt at killing me, he'd ordered me to get some Kool-Aid, and I did, with a little rat poison in it. But watching my sudden obedience, he got suspicious. Talking about he smelled something funny. He ordered me to take a drink first. I took a sip, but I didn't swallow. I just held it in my mouth, hoping he'd now be willing to drink. He was smarter than I thought. He fucked around and fucked around, twirling the Kool-Aid in the glass with a sly grin on his face till I couldn't hold what was in my mouth anymore without swallowing. Oh shit, I thought. I can't kill myself. That'd be right up his alley. I ran from the bathroom, which confirmed Larry's suspicions that something was up. He ran ahead of me and blocked the bathroom door with his body, laughing hysterically at the irony of the situation. My only other option was out the front door, halfway across the house. I'd never make it. Swallow it, bitch, he ordered, his body still blocking the doorway, hands up in the air like a soccer goalie. Damn, I hated him. But I would have lost word on this one. It took me a moment to think of a way out, but then it came to me. As I realized my way out, the look of terror on my face from envisioning what seemed to be my impending death slowly changed into a wide-ass grin. I spit the Kool-Aid in his face, and with that, it was on. We tumbled, kicked, bit, and scratched until we were tired ourselves out and retreated to the opposite ends of the house to await the next battle. So I was really glad when Mama sent Larry to go live with Daddy. Larry had started talking back to Mama, being smart-mouthed and sassing her. I remember the day Larry left. Mama told Larry to move a can of paint from off the back porch. Larry angrily stomped toward the paint can, but instead of moving it, he kicked it, as if punting a football, toward Mama. I don't know if he meant for the can to hit her, but it did. The can flew into the air like a football toward a goalpost. It struck Mama on the shoulder as it made its way back down. The impact from the can hitting Mama's shoulder caused the lid to topple off and paint flew everywhere. Mama stood there for what seemed like forever, although it was really only a few moments. Paint dripping off her clothes and face like icicles off a tree. I swear I thought smoke coming out of her ears. She balled her fist. I thought she was going to knock the shit out of Larry. Actually, I was hoping she would. Then maybe I could get in a kick or two. But instead, she spun suddenly and quickly on her heels, her long black hair flying out behind her reminding me of Batman's cape, stomped into the house and over to the phone, and called my daddy. Come get this little nigger before I kill him, she screamed. Needless to say, Daddy quickly came and Larry quickly went. Larry had lived with Daddy ever since. Daddy saved Larry's life that day. After Larry left, we really didn't see much of each other, which was fine with both of us. Daddy and Mama would switch me and Larry on the weekends so each parent could spend time with the child he or she didn't live with. This meant that Larry and I had to see each other only in passing, and even that was too much for me. I loved my weekends with my daddy. We'd dress up, Daddy would put on his one suit and I'd put on a nice dress and we'd go out on a date. We'd usually go somewhere for a dinner and then to the movies. My daddy was the only person besides my mama who thought I was pretty. He'd hop me up on his knee and ask, "Who's the prettiest girl in the whole wide world?" And in between giggles, I'd say, "I am." But I never believed it. He had to think I was pretty. He was my daddy. When we were out on our dates, he'd ask everyone, "This is my daughter. Ain't she pretty?" What were they going to say? "Actually, sir, she looks like shit." No, they'd smile and lie and told Daddy I sure was pretty. I didn't care that they were lying. I loved my daddy, and I loved our dates. Didn't bother me that Mama and Daddy didn't live together either. They still loved each other. Daddy did have a lady friend, Lori, but to me, she was just that, his friend. Lori was a tall, thin, white woman. She reminded me of Popeye's girlfriend, Olive Oil, but I still liked her because she made the best chocolate cake, my favorite. I really liked her daughter, Kelly, a pudgy, Mexican-looking girl with long black hair, only 6 months younger than me. Neither of us had a sister, so we decided we'd be each other's sister. We played together and always had fun together. She didn't mind being silly, and she was always willing to play my favorite game, Africans. I'd be Oonga Boonga and she'd be Ooga Wooga. We'd jump around with fake spears acting a fool. I had no idea what it was like to be a real African, so I imitated what I'd seen on TV. I didn't know that TV was run by white folks. What do white folks know about being African? Nothing. But at that time, I was too young and really didn't care to know. Anyway, I couldn't wait to get to Daddy's house so Kelly and I could play. Why didn't Mama wake me? I thought again, as I continued walking down towards her room. My head down in deep thought while I contemplated which outfit I would wear to Daddy's. I looked up and froze. I'll never forget what I saw. The radio was still blasting in the background. Mama was lying face down on her stomach. She was hanging off the side of the bed from her waist up. Her long black hair was hanging down, covering her face. Her arms hung limp to the floor. Mama? I asked, walking slowly toward her. The radio continued to blare as I got closer. It seemed to get louder. Mama? I thought maybe she was kidding. Mama was always playing with me. Just the night before, we were playing house and doing each other's hair, dancing around and acting silly. I thought Mama was just playing another game, so I expected her to jump up like a jack-in-the-box and scream, "Boo!" But she didn't move. I touched her arm. She was cool. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew it wasn't good. Mama? I repeated, as I tried to lift her up by her shoulders so I could see her face. I didn't know death was so heavy. When I tried to lift her, her body slid off the bed and onto me, and we both hit the floor with a thud. As she landed on top of me, I heard a gurgling noise in her throat. She was heavy. Still, I didn't panic. It took a while, but I managed to squeeze myself from under her and turned her over. She was so beautiful, even dead. I don't know how I knew she was dead. I'd never seen death before. I just knew. I got up and slowly walked over to the nightstand where the phone lay and called Lori. Hello? Lori answered. Lori, this is Vet. My mom is dead. I said so casually, Lori thought she misunderstood what I said. What'd you say? She asked. My mom's dead, I repeated in that same casual voice. Are you sure? Yeah. Stay right there. I'm gonna call your father. I hung up and almost immediately the phone rang. I nonchalantly picked it up. Hello? Pumpkin, this is Daddy. My daddy always called me Pumpkin. Never Pumpkin, always Pumpkin. Once I asked him why, and he said because when I was a baby, I had big chubby cheeks that made my face look like a round pumpkin. And ever since, he's called me Pumpkin. I never had no problem keeping up with all my different names. Mama called me Cup, Daddy called me Pumpkin, everybody else called me Vet. Hi, Daddy. Pumpkin, what's going on? Mom is dead. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. We were screaming at each other because the radio was still blasting. I never turned it off. Call the police, I'll be right there, he yelled before slamming down the phone. I didn't call the police. Somehow I knew that once they came, they'd take Mama away and I'd never see her again. So instead, I went back to her, scooped my little body under her so I could put her head in my lap and begin singing our favorite song, Chain of Fools by Aretha Franklin. We used to play that song as we sang and danced around the house. In fact, we had just been dancing to it and singing it the night before. I hadn't known then that would be our goodbye party. It was then I began to cry. And that's how Daddy found me, a half hour later. Sitting on the floor with Mama's head in my lap, stroking her hair and through my tears singing Chain of Fools. Did you call the police? He screamed as he bent down to feel her neck. I didn't respond. I just kept stroking and singing and crying. The radio blasted. Daddy ran outside. A police car happened to be passing by and Daddy flagged them down. When the cops entered the room, they seemed a little shocked at the scene. A thin little black girl cradling a dead woman singing and crying, and radio blasting. One cop picked me up, gently laying Mama's head on the floor and took me outside while the other called for an ambulance. Daddy and I followed the ambulance to the hospital. A little while later, as Daddy and I stood outside in the parking lot, a doctor walked up and told us Mama was dead. Boy, I thought to myself, I could have told you all that. How long y'all go to school for that one? He said Mama had an epileptic seizure and that she'd swallowed her tongue and choked on it. She'd suffocated on her tongue. The thud of her body's hitting the floor when she'd fallen on top of me had caused her tongue to dislodge, which was the gurgling sound I'd heard. She was 34 years old. Daddy began to cry. He was so mad he kicked the brick wall beside us. I was surprised he didn't break his foot. He cried for a long time. Once he got himself together, we got in the car and headed for his house. As we pulled up Daddy's house, Laura, Kelly, and Larry were waiting on the porch. Daddy told them what I already knew. Mama was dead. No one said anything for a while. Everyone just cried. As the tears slowly turned to sniffles, we all climbed into Daddy's little red Nova. He bought red because it was my favorite color. Although I just found my mother dead, there was no reason for a truce between me and Larry. He slapped my head as he climbed into the car and I punched his side. Bastard. I hate him. Daddy drove us to the library. He wanted to get books to explain to us what epilepsy was. Who cares? I snarled at myself. Whatever it is, it killed my mama. On the way back from the library, a song came up on the radio. Neil Sedaka's Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. Don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave my heart in misery. I began to cry again, and Daddy reached over and turned the radio off. But it was too late. That was now our song. Mama's and my other song. Chain of Fools would be our live song. And Breaking Up Is Hard to Do would be our death song. Shit, I thought. Life sucks. Little did I know, my hell hadn't even begun. And that is the end of Chapter 1. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for Chapter 2. If you guys like, comment, and subscribe, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.